Greetings, this is Ben Brode from Second Dinner, and ooh, I got a couple full games of Marvel Snap to show you today. I'll pause them to cover some high-level details and strategy. I can't wait to show it to you. Let's jump in. So today I'm going to be playing a ranked match. There's going to be something at stake here. The game is all about the Cosmic Cube. One Cosmic Cube gives you ultimate power, but what's better than one Cosmic Cube is every Cosmic Cube from every dimension in the multiverse. That's what Marvel Snap's about. That's how we determine your rank. So the more Cosmic Cubes you have, the higher your rank on the ranked leaderboard. The winner of this match is going to win one Cosmic Cube, and the loser is going to lose one Cosmic Cube, and your rank is going to go either up or down based on that. My opponent today is Hamilton, and I'm playing a deck that tries to buff my own cards, and the first location here is Wakandan Embassy. Wakandan Embassy gives +2 power to cards in both players' hands. So all the cards that started in my hand are going to get an extra little bonus here. Every location has a different, unique ability. We don't know what the other two are going to be just yet. They're going to reveal themselves next turn and the turn after that. The goal of the game is to win 2 out of 3 locations. So if I can win 2 out of 3 locations, then I win the game. Now, I win locations by playing my cards at them, and every card has a certain amount of power, and it adds its power to a location, and if you have more power on your side of the location than your opponent has on their side of the location, then you're winning that location. Again, you gotta win 2 out of 3 to win the game. So it's turn 1. I have 1 energy to spend. You get a little more energy each turn. Only 1 card I have in my hand that costs 1 is Yondu. Yondu is going to add 2 power to a location, and also when he reveals himself to my opponent, he's going to destroy the top card of my opponent's deck, which will give me a little more information about what kind of deck my opponent is playing here. Now, turns are played simultaneously in this game, so while I am thinking about what I want to do, my opponent's thinking about what they want to do, and when we both end the turn, we reveal our choices to each other. Yondu destroys Nightcrawler there. My opponent plays Hawkeye, which gives him a little bonus if he plays another card to that location next turn. So that's a little bit of a hint for me that he might play another card to the Wakandan Embassy next turn. And the middle location here is Avengers Compound. It says on turn 5, all cards must be played here. So I know I'll have to play a card to Avengers Compound on turn 5. The game is only 6 turns long. It's pretty short, and you have to be winning 2 out of 3 locations at the end of turn 6 in order to win the game. So I have a few options here on turn 2. I can play Mr. Sinister, who splits in half and creates a copy of himself. And I can play Forge, who has already been buffed by Wakandan Embassy and gives the next card I play +2 power. So actually, Mr. Sinister is quite good with that buff because he will split and get 2 more powerful copies. My opponent played Star-Lord, which normally would be quite good because if he guesses where I'm going to play, he gets an extra bonus. But he played it to Wakandan Embassy to buff his Hawkeye, and I didn't play there, so he didn't get the bonus. So it's turn 3. Let's see what the third location is going to be. The Space Throne. Wow. So it says only 1 card can be here for each player. Well, that's very interesting. Normally I want to play a bunch of cards to try and get the highest power I can, but Space Throne means I should just play my highest card, I think. It will overcome my opponent's highest card at that location. I played Forge last turn, so the next card I play is going to have +2 power. So I'm going to play Brood, and Brood is going to make 2 extra copies of itself. And that's great with Forge because all of the copies will have 2 extra power. Oh, my opponent played Electro, which destroys an enemy 1-cost card at that location, so it destroys my Yondu. But I get 2 extra Broodlings. I have a lot of 6-power Broodlings now at Wakandan Embassy. I have 18 power there. That's huge. It's turn 4. We're over halfway through the game here at this point. And next turn, I will have to play to Avengers Compound. I really want to get Namor, as big as I can get Namor. So I'm going to play Nakia here, and that buffs all the cards in my hand by giving all of them +2 power. I don't want to waste any energy, so I'm going to play Ant-Man as well. It's a little bit risky because you can only have 4 cards at a location. Playing Ant-Man means that I won't be able to play any more cards to Wakandan Embassy. It gives my opponent a lot of information about how strong I am there, but it's going to be a lot of power. I feel pretty good about being able to win Wakandan Embassy, and so I'm not too worried about giving away that information. Nakia buffs all the cards in my hand, giving them +2 power. My Namor's getting bigger and bigger, which is really helpful for me to try and affect my strategy. Oh, my opponent plays Spider-Man. Oh no, Spider-Man webs up a location, making it so you can't play there next turn, and because of Avengers Compound, I have to play there and nowhere else, so I actually can't play any cards this turn. I can't even play Namor to the Space Throne. This is terrible for me. I just have to do nothing and end my turn. I drew Captain America. He's useless. Mr. Sinister, useless. I just have to watch while my opponent does whatever they want to bolster their own side. That is terrible for me, and it looks like they're going to play Iron Man. Oh no, Iron Man doubles the power at a location, so now he's got 14 power at Avengers Compound. So my play is just to play Namor to Space Throne, Maybe get a little extra power to try and win tiebreakers by playing Mr. Sinister to the middle location. But this is not looking great for me. If he has a big enough card at the Space Throne, I'm definitely going to lose. Something really important to note about the last turn of the game is that the cubes at stake will double at the end of the game, which means at this point, it is my last opportunity to think about, am I going to win this game or am I going to lose this game? Because if I'm going to lose, I should bail out right now and retreat while the stakes are still at 1. But if I stay in and see how this game ends, then I have to risk 1 more cube. So the winner, if I stay in, the winner's going to win 2 cubes and the loser's going to lose 2 cubes. It'll be a little bit more of an impactful game towards my rank. And I'm feeling pretty good. I got Namor pretty high. I think I'm going to win this game, so I'm sticking it out. We'll see how it goes. So Namor gets a big bonus because he's the only card to location, so he goes up to 14. Mr. Sinister not doing too much right now, but giving me a little extra power. Oh, my opponent plays Magneto. Magneto grabs all the 3 and 4 cost cards and moves them to that location, but there's no room for any more cards because the Space Throne can only have 1 card in it, so that's less power than Namor thanks to my Nakia, which means I win that location, which means I win 2 out of 3 locations, and I've won the game, and the cubes have doubled, so I get 2 cubes, moving myself even further up the ranks. All right, here we go. It's game 2, and the first location here is X Mansion at the end of turn 3. Add a random card here for each player. So we'll have to see how that affects things at the end of turn 3. I have 2 options here. I can play Ant-Man or Yondu. Ant-Man gets a bonus, an ongoing ability to give me a bonus if I have 3 other cards of the location. I think X Mansion is the most likely case where I'll be able to have 3 other cards because it's going to add its own card at the end of turn 3, making that a little bit easier for me. My opponent didn't play anything on turn 1, so here it is turn 2. Middle location is Crimson Cosmos. 1, 2, and 3 cost cards can't be played here. I only have 1, 2, and 3 cost cards, so that's not great for me. I do have 2 energy to spend this turn, so I'm going to play Rocket Raccoon. If I guess correctly where my opponent's going to play, I'll get a little bit of a bonus there for Rocket Raccoon. I can also play Yondu because I have an extra energy to spend, and I'll toss Yondu over to the right location. And it destroys the top card of my opponent's deck. I did guess correctly where my opponent's going to play, so I got that extra boost for Rocket Raccoon. Yondu destroys Star-Lord. That's a bummer. And Elektra destroys the Rocket Raccoon I just played. That's unfortunate. So third location here is Nowhere. When you play a card here, destroy it. So I got very lucky that I got Yondu in before it revealed, and so it didn't get affected by its trigger. That's huge for me because my opponent may not be able to get a card into Nowhere. Now any card that he plays there is going to be immediately destroyed. So he's going to have to be pretty crafty to be able to sneak something in there. And I've already got a winning position at that location. So I'm going to play a Koya. Koya says add 2 power to every card in your deck. So every card I draw from now on will get a bonus. And this is turn 3. So after this turn, we're going to see what pops out of X Mansion here. Hopefully it's something good for me. Here goes a Koye, giving me +2 power to every card in my deck. My opponent played Rogue! Oh no, now Rogue, if she touches somebody, she steals their power. So she's gonna fly over and touch Ant-Man, stealing his ongoing ability. And now Ant-Man does nothing and Rogue has Ant-Man's power. And let's see what pops out of the X Mansion. Death is great for me. 12 power is humongous. And my opponent flips Hobgoblin. Oh no, he has -8 power, but Hobgoblin flies over to my side of the location, giving me -8 power and taking the last slot at X Mansion, which is absolutely terrible for me because even though I'm winning that location, my opponent knows I can't get more than 6 power there. It should be easy for my opponent to be able to come up with enough power to win there. At least I'm winning Nowhere right now, but this is a really tough turn. I don't really have anything I can do that's very effective. I can't play any of these cards at the middle location because of its effect. So I could play something to Nowhere, but it's going to just do its on reveal and then get immediately destroyed. So Nakia could buff the cards in my hand, but that doesn't help that much. I can't play them anywhere that matters. I'm going to play Brood to the right. It's going to summon Broodlings. They're not played, they're just added, so they don't get affected by Nowhere's triggered effect. Gives me a little bit more power to Nowhere in case he does find a way to sneak a card into that location without playing it. So there goes Brood, he dies. There's Nightcrawler, so that's a way to sneak a card out into Nowhere. Nightcrawler can move once a game. Ironheart can buffs 3 of your cards, so actually has a little bit of stronger Nightcrawler now, which is significant because if I hadn't played the Broodlings, then my Yondu would have been defeated by my opponent's Nightcrawler. So this is tough. I could just play Namor this turn, but I think I'm going to play Nakia. It's going to get destroyed, but it's going to buff Namor just that little bit more, which is helpful because I think it'll be the only card I end up playing to Crimson Cosmos, and I want it to be as strong as it possibly can be. And I'm looking at my board right now, and I'm thinking, I've got Nowhere. I feel good about that. My opponent's going to get X Mansion. That's not great, but I have a big Namor, and I just won a game with a big Namor. I feel like I'm probably going to win this one too, so I'm going to snap. And when you snap, you say to your opponent, I'd like to double the stakes. I feel really, really good about winning this game, so I would like to play for more cubes. And your opponent is thinking, wow, okay, I could retreat right now for the 1. If I stay in, I risk 2. The winner's gonna win 2, the loser's gonna lose 2. Is that worth it? And they must be very confident. Maybe I should bail, or maybe they're bluffing me and they want me to leave because they have a crappy hand and they want to see me leave now and win at least 1 cube for them. They decided to stay in, so Nightcrawler moves to nowhere. That's interesting. They're no longer winning X-Mansion, and it's not enough to win nowhere. The Kia docks Iron Man. Oh, well, that's really interesting. Well, 0 times 2 is still 0, so they're not winning it right now. But any card they play there next is going to be humongous. It's going to be very hard for me to deal with. If they play Hulk or something, that's going to be 22 power. Namor's not enough to deal with something like that. They're going to have a huge. Oh no, they snapped also. Well, that's terrible for me because if that just guarantees in my mind that they're gonna have some huge card there. Why would you snap if you didn't think you were gonna easily overcome my Namor? So yeah, if they snap now, the final cube's gonna be at 8 because the cube's been doubled twice. Once by the end of game, double that happens at the end of every game, and once because my opponent just snapped. So in a normal game on the ranked ladder here, I would absolutely retreat. I'm looking at a potential 8 cube loss here if I lose this game. I would rather just lose the 2 cubes. And I think, yeah, with Iron Man there, that's a lot of power coming down to Crimson Cosmos. I'm just not confident that I'll be able to beat that. I'd rather lose 2 cubes than 8. So I'm going to retreat. I'm going to bail out of this game. Now, because I'm showing the game off for the first time here, I'll stick it out to show you how this would have gone if I had stayed in. But yeah, there's no chance I think I win this game, especially because my opponent just snapped to let me know he's got a great play here on turn 6. Oh, he played 2 cards. He's going to try and go for expansion as well. Rock Slide, that's only 6 power. Doubled, it's not enough to defeat my Namor, which means that if I had stayed in here for real, I would have won this game. He was a bluff. He was trying to get me to concede so we could win the 2 cubes instead of having me stay in to win 8. Wow! I would have bought that bluff hook, line, and sinker if it was a real game. That is not what I expected. Rock Slide is not big enough to win that middle location. And because I stayed in, I won 8 cubes because I snapped, my opponent snapped, and the end of game double all add up to the biggest win I could possibly get on the ranked ladder here. 8 full cosmic cubes. That's Marvel Snap. It's so fast, it's so fun, and we can't wait to see what kind of decks you'll create. So go sign up for the beta today at marvelsnap.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you online.